So someone wanted to know which is more sensitive, the rod or the cone. And this is a little bit like comparing apples and oranges because the sensitivity of the rod to the detection of light is actually better because it doesn't need as many photons because it's for night vision. So the rod is more sensitive at night, and that we call a scotopic condition. So if you're outside at night and you want to look at the stars, you should use your rod, but not your cone, to look at those stars because less light is necessary to activate the rod at night. So at night, the rod is more sensitive, and the cones, there are different types, and they're based on color, which is wavelength. So blue, green, and red, the wavelength spectrums that they detect are different within the visible light spectrum in nanometers. And so each of these cones has specialized functions that detect the color based on the wavelength. But the rod needs less photon to activate. And so the cone requires more photons, and therefore he does better in the light, that is the photopic condition. So when it's bright light, the cone has better spatial resolution. And if you look at the hill of vision, that's your fovea right there. So the highest spatial resolution during the day when there are plenty of photons is the cone. However, if it's night, there aren't enough photons to activate the cone, and therefore the rod is more sensitive at night. But he's more sensitive because at night there are less photons, and that is the scotopic night condition. But in the photopic condition, the day, the cone has better spatial resolution, but he needs a lot more photons to activate. And the color, blue, green, red, the wavelength is specialized to the cone versus the rod, which is monochromat. He doesn't see any color. So if you're looking something at night, like the stars, you should use your rod, not looking directly at the star. Look in your peripheral vision because you will see more of the star because less photons are necessary to activate the rod. But if it's daytime, you should look straight at the target because it's the cone. It'll provide color because of the wavelengths, and it'll provide better spatial resolution. But it has to be brightly lit, and that is the photopic condition, the cone.